What's up, everyone? Making this video on my phone because we're time sensitive. What I'm holding here is a true Holy Grail instrument. This instrument belonged to Marty Stewart. Some friends of mine have came into ownership of it. And what makes this really special is a 1924 GIBSON F-5. They call him the Lloyd Loar. And the reason is because that was one of the guys that worked at Gibson. And you can look right in here. I don't even know if it's going to be able to show up. But right in there, there's the magic document. And I thought I would just play a couple of things on it real quick so you can hear it. Even with old strings on it, it is absolutely fantastic. Hopefully the owners will let us record with this at some point in the near future. I'm just happy to hold it and show it to you guys. In bluegrass mythology, if you will, like Arthurian legend, the builder Lloyd Loar, and I forget the exact years that he worked. I'm looking in here to see. This actually is serial number 75947. And the patent is March 30th, 1906. September 20th, 1920, January 18th, 1921. And this is a 1924, if I'm not mistaken, correct? 24.
He was there 22 to 24.
He was there 22 to 24. The owner's over here to my left, just out of frame. And they brought it over to the Woodshed today so we could check it out. And man, this is really just a true piece of musical history. What kind of brought these mandolins to the forefront in bluegrass? Of course, the mighty Bill Monroe, Sam Bush, Marty Stewart, who was the previous owner of this mandolin. The last time I saw this mandolin, it was at a shop in Nashville, and I actually remember seeing it when it was there. These mandolins are a lot like the 59 Les Pauls, where it's just like everybody kind of knows where they are, right? Like the infamous Peter Green Les Paul, right? That transitioned down through several players, and if I'm not mistaken, Kirk Hammett still has that guitar. But yeah, these are very much like the bluegrass equivalent of that kind of weapon, and what a magnificent instrument. Got that really classic bark when you do the chop. Really nice and percussive when we play loud licks on it. Really great intonation, especially for a mandolin of this age. Let's see how high it'll intonate up. Oh, we get a high A, which is fun. Really expensive mandolins. This is a very common question while I'm talking about mandolins. Most of you guys are probably guitar players that are watching this. The common question about mandolins is, how much do I have to spend to get a good mandolin? The truth is, you have to spend a lot. If you see behind me, we have a wall of guitars and a wall of amplifiers. And if anybody just wants to go price shopping, you can price out some Sirs and a PRS and a Fender Baritone and a Collings, etc. Things get very expensive very quickly, especially when you see a Diesel and a Bogner and a Sir amp. This is a very expensive array of tonal equipment behind me. Not cheap. However, in bluegrass, there is no amplifier for this thing. There is no, I need a Strat, I need a Les Paul, I need a 335. This is just it. This is just the truth. Right here, you need a really great instrument, and that's it. So when I say to get into a beginner mandolin that's really worth having, that you can actually fret, because unfortunately I will be that guy and I'm going to sound like an old man yelling at a cloud, but I don't think you can get there with a couple of $100 mandolin. I think the right answer for beginning is about $1,000. Specifically, those Kentucky F models are nice. The next model up, I would look at some of the Collings instruments. They can range from several thousand into $7,000 to $8,000. Now the next move up would be something like a guy in Maryville, Tennessee. I don't know if his shop is still in Maryville, but it was for a while. His name is Lynn Dudenbossel. Lynn makes a fantastic mandolin. They sound great. They play incredible. And they will set you back a good $20K. However, when somebody's like having a heart attack, when I say the words $20,000, like I said, you look around your room, and if you have more than one guitar and more than one amplifier, and you've spent $4,000 a swing on things, you can see how it adds up. Now, one of these, just Google it. I'm not going to disclose what the buyer, paid, but I will say these can get well into the six figures. A magnificent instrument. Obviously, this one has a very special heritage. I'll move the microphone here for you guys. And I just want you to just kind of check out how great it looks. Like I said, I am doing this on my phone for a time-sensitive scenario that we've got. But the action is nice and low. Quick edit here on the old Gibson. One of the things that was just pointed out to me after I stopped rolling was, did you see the back of the tag? And I did not. I didn't notice it. But as we get close, we can see that says Miles Music Shop right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. So how appropriate that this thing has returned to East Tennessee throughout 100 years, almost 100 years of this thing's life. And from what the owner says, this was sold to the Knoxville Symphony. That's correct. Just a nod will do. Yeah. But yeah, it's amazing. One more time on that tag, sold at the Miles Music Shop right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. And how cool that this thing has returned to East Tennessee. So if you're curious about the history and the legend of the GIBSON F-5 mandolin and the lore around the Lloyd Loar, very appropriate word usage right there. Simply just a Google search will get you there. But if you're familiar with names like Sam Bush, Marty Stewart, Bill Monroe, Ronnie McCurry, Chris Thiele, this is Excalibur. This is the sword and the stone. This is the true rarity, and it's just a pleasure to hold it and make this video for you guys. Cheers. Really good. Brand new about a century ago.